And there is a new player in the negotiations over extending the Bush tax cuts. The White House is reviewing a proposal from Virginia's Democratic Senator Mark Warner. It backs the president's call to end tax breaks for the wealthy, but then transfers those cuts to businesses in an effort to bring Republicans on board. Senator Warner serves on the Banking and Commerce Committees and joins us now. Thanks so much, Senator. Thanks for being with us. What reaction are you getting so far? Have you any Republican support at all to this proposal?
Well, I vetted this first with business leaders, and I got some strong support there. And it recognizes that both sides have got an argument. Democrats have got a point that a permanent extension of the top 2% would add $700 billion to the deficit. Republicans are right that if you take money out of the economy right now, it could slow the recovery. And the problem with a 2-year temporary extension for the top 2% is that these temporary extensions have a tendency of becoming permanent. And a lot of folks like the CBO say giving a tax break to the top 2% might not be the most effective use of stimulus. And my sense is if you could match that dollar for dollar with business tax breaks for 2 years, spend $65 billion in targeted business tax cuts, you could perhaps get some of the $2 trillion that's sitting on cash on American balance sheets off the sidelines reinvested. And it'd also be a great opportunity for the White House to reach out to the business community and say, hey, we don't have all the answers. Let's work with you on what those tax cuts ought to look like.
We know the White House was reading the plan. What has been their reaction so far? Are you getting any back channel encouragement?
Well, we've run this by them for a while. I'm anxious. I just hope they'll consider all options. I mean, I'm not wedded to this. The actual foursquare of this plan is the right solution, but we ought to get past the kind of, it's either our way or the Republican way, and not recognize that there should be some effort for compromise, and the compromise ought to be geared at how can we get reinvestment going in America and job creation going, because the positive part of our economy that's not often reported enough is large American companies in particular are sitting better today financially than they were before the recession. And how do we get that $2 trillion in cash off the sidelines reinvested in our economy?
But given the lineup in the Senate right now and going forward, what is the impetus for Republicans to negotiate? Certainly not in the House. John Boehner is saying it's all or nothing.
Well, here would be what I would hope, is that if, as I think we saw with the chairman's mark on the Deficit Commission earlier in the week, we've got some hard choices in front of us. And if we're going to be true to the goal of ultimate deficit reduction, we've got to be willing to have everybody give a little bit. And my sense here is we can accomplish the longer-term goals of not making adding this $700 billion to the deficit, but recognizing we shouldn't take money out of the economy. And if you want to do job creation, what better way than saying to the business community, help us fashion what can get that money off the sidelines into creating jobs. And I actually believe there's a lot of members in both parties who are kind of tired of the kind of let's both retreat to our corners approach. And my hope, actually, with a closer Senate, that you might find an emergence of what I would call the bipartisan radical center stepping up, and I hope to be part of that.
Senator Mark Warner trying to find middle ground. Thank you very much. Great to see you. Thanks for joining us.